everyone, it's me, Stella. Today I'm going to be talking about the secret to straight A's. Yeah, I know it sounds pretty scary, but it's not that bad. A lot of you guys have been asking me about how to get straight A's, how to improve your grades, things like that, how to stay on top of classes, all that sort of thing. Today I'm going to give you basically all the essentials that I personally know and give you kind of the raw meat of what you need to know to get straight A's in high school and middle school, especially high school though. And yeah, and I'm not gonna leave any, and even in college I think this applies to any, level, but I'm not gonna, sugarcoat anything. I'm gonna say the absolute truth, but I think it would be the most useful for you guys to hear it this way. So I hope you guys enjoy this video and find it helpful. So let's get into it. Okay, the number one thing that you need to know when it comes to getting straight A's is that you need to be a perfectionist. So you need to give 100% into what you're doing for school. So if you're given a project, you need to give 100% into it. Make sure it looks pretty, make sure every single aspect of the rubric is completed, make sure everything is 100% as perfect as it possibly can be. If it's an essay for homework assignment, spell check, go over grammar, have someone else read it, make sure that it's the best possible version that it can be. And when it comes to homework, when your teacher gives you homework, do it yourself. Don't cut corners. Don't look up on Google, on Yahoo Answers for the same question, or ask your friends to do it for you or something like that. Do it yourself. And because every time that you do something like you cut corners like that, it's taking away from you learning the material, so that when it comes to the test, you're not going to be like, oh my god, I don't understand anything. So actually do the homework yourself, by yourself. Try to even avoid using the textbook once you've read the material. Just try to do it yourself as if it's in a test scenario where you're literally just sitting there going through the questions, struggling through them, because that struggle is when you learn the most. So it's really crucial that you actually do everything by yourself without any extra really help if you can. Also, always do the homework when it's given to you. Don't procrastinate and put it off by however long of a time frame you have and then do it frantically 2 hours before school. Because that way you're not going to be really learning the material truly, and it's not going to be really high quality learning. And you're going to also kind of get into this mode of procrastination where you're constantly behind and you constantly feel like you have to catch up. And it's just really a lot more efficient to just do it when it's given to you, because that way you're actually learning the material as you go, and you're not in this constant state of, oh my god, I'm behind and stuff. And that's what personally happened to me in calculus. I was procrastinating on the homeworks and I would do them 2 days before the test, and I thought I could get away with that, but I didn't. I ended up getting a B the first 9 weeks. But now I have 101 average because all I've really been doing differently is I literally just do the homework the day the teacher assigns it, and it makes a world of a difference. Next thing, get to know your teachers. Your teachers are humans, and as humans, they have power usually over, when it comes to essay questions, for instance, or even homework. When they're grading it, they have the power to increase your grade a little bit or decrease it, and that will be based on how much they like you and how much they see you're actually trying. If you're that kind of person who doesn't say anything in class, never comes to their office hours, and basically is completely almost not part of the class at all, they're not going to remember you, they're not going to know you, and if you start, messing up on a test or something, or you just make a slight mistake, they're not going to be really lenient on that. They'll just be like, okay, well, you're not really trying, obviously, in this class, so there's no, that's your loss, right? However, take option B, you're constantly raising your hand in class, asking questions, being an active participant. In lunch, you go and visit them and ask them questions, or after school, and you're constantly in their face telling them things like, oh, I'm trying so hard, like, can you help me please? And that will show them that you're actually trying, which is important because you should be actually trying if you're trying to raise your grade or get an A. And that will also, so they might be more lenient when it comes to grading. And I'm not saying like, oh, they're gonna like give you an easy A or something, but it just kind of helps create a bond between you and your teacher. And I think that that's really crucial because At the end of the day, they don't want you, I think they obviously want you to learn the material, but they also want to see that you're trying. You know, you're not just going and like spending 5 minutes on the material and that's it, that you're actually interested in learning the material. And I think that this is important for not just you, but for the teacher too, you know, just to see that their students are active and participating in their classes. Next up, do everything that your teacher assigns you, because there's chances that it will be on the test. Just do it, because there's a reason why they say read this, do that. It's usually going to end up being on a test or a quiz, and that will obviously usually greatly affect your grade. So just do everything that the teacher assigns you. And when it comes to test prep, also make sure that you go over the quizzes and the assignments that you have gone through for the chapter, because usually the chapter tests will be pretty similar to what you've seen throughout the course of the chapter, throughout the course of the material that you've been learning. And that will greatly influence how you'll do on tests if you're studying what you've already learned in class, instead of like frantically going over some random AP prep books or doing something completely irrelevant. So just make sure you focus on going over the assignments like the homework and the quizzes, and you should be fine on the tests. Don't bother really reading the textbook in depth or doing something else like that, unless you have like a lot of time. But if you're really crunched on time, then definitely just focus on quizzes and homework. Also, when it comes to test prep, listen in class, because there's always a chance that your teacher will say something about, you know, the upcoming test that will kind of drop hints to you about what might be covered on it, and that way you can, you know, have more focused study sessions when you're preparing for the test. And just ask questions, you know, they'll usually give you some hints on what might be on the test. Next up, quantity is not better than quality. So basically quality trumps quantity. And the reason that is that, for instance, just because you've been sitting at your desk reading your textbook for 3 hours doesn't mean that you really learned anything and that it's actually helping you in your class. Versus a person who's been sitting there for 30 minutes but been doing homework problems by themselves and actually understanding it, it's a lot more useful. So when I say quality trumps quantity, make sure that you're always somewhere that's quiet or somewhere that you can focus. Make sure that your computer and your phone are off, so that you're not constantly distracted by text messages or social media or watching YouTube videos or anything like that. Maybe use the Pomodoro method, which is basically where you set up a timer for yourself for 25 minutes, and all you do those 25 minutes, doesn't matter if the world is burning outside, all you're doing those 25 minutes is studying, focusing on what you're doing. That method has been really useful for me personally. So just make sure that you are really, really focusing, and that during those sessions you're doing something that's actually useful for your class, like homework or going over your notes from lectures, or just reading a passage in a textbook that your teacher assigned you, things like that, that you know that will actually get you further in your class. And the last and probably most important thing is to believe in yourself. And I know that that sounds cliche, but that's actually true, because I genuinely, for a little bit of time, did not believe in myself. I felt down about calculus. I didn't think I would be able to do well in it. But then I got to the point where like, hey, you know, I've gone through struggles before, but I can do this. So I started studying more, and now I have a lot higher of an average. And the truth is that you really just truly need to believe that you can do this. No one is genuinely stupid or cannot learn this material. Anyone can, and the truth is you can too. And you know, you just need to know why you're doing it, and you know, have a reason why you're going towards and trying to get straight A's. So you have to have a set goal, and you have to also really know that you can achieve it. It's not something that's impossible. So since you guys are watching this video, obviously for a reason, if you've made it this far, comment below why you want to get straight A's, because I'm just curious, you know, why do you want to get straight A's? But yeah, I hope that this video was helpful for you. Hope this video was helpful for you guys, and that you enjoyed it and that it was useful. And if it was, please leave a big thumbs up so that I know, and make more videos like this. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys!